going on, Stellar Crew? Bob MacArthur here for Stellarvue Telescopes for the March 2025 edition of In the Sky. Wow, it is a busy month. There's a lot going on. We've got a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, it's the vernal equinox, it's a Messier marathon season. Wow, a lot going on. And one of my weapons of choice is my SVX 90T this month. It is a phenomenal scope. I got it on a Los Mandy GM8. Actually kind of a nice little easy movable system. It's great, I love it. Actually, what's really cool is this month, Stellarvue is going to be releasing a new eyepiece. They're going to be releasing an ultra flat field 30 millimeter, 70 degree eyepiece. It's been great. I've really enjoyed using this eyepiece. The Orion Nebula, the Pleiades, the double star cluster, all have been just phenomenal through this eyepiece. I not only used it in my 90, but I also have used it in my 152 and my 16-inch Dob. And what I've really appreciated about this eyepiece, being an eyeglass wearer, it's got 20 millimeters of eye relief. So I can wear my glasses, nice flat field, sharp, great eyepiece. Looking forward to using it for a Messier marathon season for sure. So there's a lot going on this month. So without further ado, let's get to it and talk about what we got going on in the sky for March 2025. There's a lot going on, so let's get to it. So right off the bat, we start with the cool pairing of that nice thin crescent moon with that nice thin crescent Venus. Venus is starting to move kind of in between the Earth and the Sun, so we get that crescent Venus. Now, if you look low and you got a good view to the horizon, you can get Mercury too. Mercury's low, it's gonna be tough. It's in the glow of that sunlight, but yeah, it's there. So check it out. Mercury's gonna put on a little bit of a show for us in the month of March. So March 8th. Up there with Mars, you have the waxing gibbous moon. Mars and the moon are going to be really nice and close on March 8th. But then you're going to get Castor and Pollux up there too. So kind of making a nice little group. So definitely check that out for sure. You have the waxing gibbous moon on the night of the 11th and 12th of March. That waxing gibbous moon is going to sit in Leo, nice and close to Regulus. And actually throughout the night, that's why I put the 11th and 12th. Throughout the night, the moon is going to get closer and closer to Regulus. And right before sunrise, it's going to make that nice close pairing. So check that out. That'll be kind of fun to watch throughout the night. March 14th, we have a total lunar eclipse. I'm going to save that for a little bit later. We're going to talk about that one. It's exciting. Lunar eclipses are so fun, but we'll talk about that later. And then March 20th, the first day of spring, the vernal equinox. Well, spring for us in the northern hemisphere. For our friends in the southern hemisphere, it'll be the first day of fall for y'all down there. So sweater weather for you all, and we start throwing out the shorts and the flip flops. Well, we all hope to. Here in Colorado, who knows what you get in March. But anyways, the longer days, warmer weather hopefully coming on the horizon. It's great. So we have the vernal equinox on March 20th. And then on March 29th, we actually have a partial solar eclipse. And again, I'm going to spend some more time later on talking about that. So what do we got with the solar system? Well, the planets are all up. You may have been hearing about it in the news, and the planets have been up for a couple months now. They've put on a great show. So this month, though, Mercury joins the show. Now, it's kind of a weird thing because the planets are up, but Saturn's really faint. We're past Saturn season. It's actually going to get super hard to see Saturn, but you do have Mercury and you do have Venus. Saturn again and Neptune, they're there, but they're not in prime viewing season. So again, you got Mercury and Venus low on the horizon. By the end of the month, Venus is going to be done for us. Venus is going to swap from being an evening object to a morning object. So the Venus is fast fleeting away from us. We still do have Uranus, and we do still have Jupiter. So you still have those two objects. Jupiter's up there in Taurus. And then, of course, Mars. Mars, it's been interesting. Mars was at opposition earlier this year, and it's past opposition, so it's getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. I've been noticing it. I'm like, oh, yeah, Mars has gotten quite a bit dimmer. But it's still great to see. You can still see the ice cap. You can still see surface features. And again, the Sky and Telescope observing tool is phenomenal. It can tell you what features are visible with Mars. It can also with Jupiter. They have a Sky and Telescope Jupiter observing tool also. We can tell you which moons are which and transiting and shadows and all that stuff too. Look at Barry's picture of Jupiter right there with the double transit. I love watching Jupiter transits. So definitely check that out for sure. So Mars is there. So there you go. Pluto, obviously, for me, Pluto being a planet, you can actually get Pluto before sunrise. Pluto is over there near the constellation of Scorpius and Capricornus. So Pluto's up in the sky for you all to get to. So there you go. We're solar maximum. And for some reason, equinoxes are great for seeing the aurora australis and the aurora borealis, the northern lights, southern lights. So keep a watch on like spaceweather.com or NOAA Space Weather. Geomagnetic storms, a great time to see the auroras, especially if you're in those northern tier states or Canada, Alaska, Iceland, Greenland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Russia. And also, if we have a good storm, you can get those auroras down into Europe or up from Antarctica into Tasmania and the South Island of New Zealand. So March is great for auroras. So definitely keep a lookout for those. The sun's been active. You got solar filters. Check the sun out. There's your moon phases, all right? So our full moon is March 14th. That is the day of the lunar eclipse. And then we also have our new moon on March 29th, which is the day of the solar eclipse, and also Messier Marathon weekend. So let's get talking about the eclipses. So let's talk about the first one. We have the total lunar eclipse. And this is great because the total lunar eclipse is going kind of all night, which is phenomenal. It's going to be visible from both North and South America, and we get totality. So if you want to know when totality is, when the best time to watch the eclipse is for you and your location, I really do suggest going to timeanddate.com. I got the link up there for you. Check out that link. You can know when total is. I love watching the moon go through that Earth's shadow. So that's what's happening during a total lunar eclipse. The moon is passing into the shadow of the Earth, giving you that cool color. Now you'll start seeing the shadow of the moon or shadow of the Earth kind of take out chunks of the moon, and then you'll start watching the moon turn this beautiful, like orangey red color, depending on all the stuff in the atmosphere with volcanic ash and wildfire ash and different particulates in our atmosphere. You can get sometimes teals and yellows. So check it out. Shoot some pictures with it. That's a picture I took right there from a previous eclipse with my 127 when I had the 127. So now I got a 152, aperture fever. So check that out. Total lunar eclipses are fun. Now, at the end of the month, with the new moon on March 29th, we also have not a total, I wish it was, it'd be amazing. We have a partial lunar eclipse. It does get pretty close though. Kind of where my red mark is on that map, they're getting into the mid 90s. So it's going to be a pretty good eclipse. Now, not visible from a huge part of the United States, but our friends in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, so kind of New England, you're getting a pretty good eclipse up there. So check out timeanddate.com. Again, I have the link up there, the website. They'll tell you what you're getting from your location. I'm a little jealous you guys are getting eclipses. So I love solar eclipses. I love lunar eclipses. So please, Stellar Crew, get out there, check them out. Share your pictures of the eclipse. We want to see what you got. Share. You can email us. You can go to the Stellarvue forum. Show us your pictures of the eclipse. So there's the eclipses. And then we have the Messier Marathon, and that's March 29th. The best time to do the Messier Marathon is the new moon closest to the equinox. And, well, the equinox is on the 20th, so now we have March 29th, so pretty much a week after. There you go. You could try the weekend before. The issue with the weekend before, you might be battling it out with the last quarter moon. Or you could even try that weekend into April, but then you're going to be battling out with the first quarter moon. So I'm putting March 29th as the prime weekend to do your Messier Marathon. Now, I put a couple of websites up there, the Los Angeles Astronomical Society. That is a great resource. The dates are a little off, but the charts and the observing logs are wonderful there. And then also SEDS Messier Marathon info, great. helps you with order, kind of some tips and tools. It's great. I've done a few Messier marathons. I've done it with Dobbs. I've done it with my 6-inch refractor. I've done it with a 4-inch. They're fun. They're challenging, especially as you go throughout the night. But Charles Messier gave us this beautiful catalog. So get out there, see some of those amazing objects that we're so used to and we love talking about, like M42 and M31. You get to see them all in one night, depending on your latitude. I think here for me, at 40 degrees north, 39 degrees north, I M74 at the beginning of the night and M30 at the end of the early in the morning at the end are my challenging objects. So the best I've been able to do is 108. So there it is. Now, let's get into talking about some of these deep sky objects. Star clusters. We're in the winter Milky Way. The winter Milky Way is great right now. It runs through Canis Major, up through Orion into Gemini. Actually, you also have it going through Monoceros and then up into Auriga and through the sky into Cassiopeia and stuff like that. But the winter Milky Way, it's not as big and as vibrant as the summer Milky Way, but there are so many star clusters. The summer Milky Way for me has a lot of really good nebula. The winter Milky Way is where we get these beautiful star clusters. I have NGC 2419. This is a globular, so kind of not in that winter Milky Way section, but really cool little globular to check out. I love M35. M35 is just a wonderful object at the foot of Gemini. It's great for any optic, any size, I think. I think if you have a small aperture scope, an 80 millimeter, all the way up to big Dobbs. I really like M35. It is just a good open star cluster to look at. I put the Christmas tree cluster in there again. It's a fun one. I really do enjoy looking at NGC 2264. It's got the Christmas tree cluster in there. It's got the Cone Nebula. It's a fun one for sure. And then this is also a really nice cluster, Caroline's cluster, Caroline Herschel. That's what it's named after. So check out NGC 2360 or Caldwell Object 58. Just a really nice cluster to look at. I'm actually a huge fan of M46. This is a really neat open star cluster, and Brian got a great photo of it because this has a planetary nebula in it. They're not associated. It just happens to be in the line of sight. So get that O3 filter or a good UHC filter, and you can pop out that planetary in there. So nice shot getting that planetary in that with the cluster there. The Beehive. So now we're getting into Cancer. So now we have the Beehive cluster, M44. Pop in a wide field eyepiece or wide field shot. It's just a great cluster to get. And then you go just south of that down to M67, also in Cancer. So again, these are just a few. There are so many. You go on like Sky Safari or Stellarium and pop up that star chart, you'll just see a plethora of open star clusters up in that section for sure. There's also our fair share of nebula. Again, we have the winter Milky Way, lots of good nebula. Of course, you have Orion, M42. But let's not forget about the Crab Nebula. Now, the Crab Nebula is a supernova remnant. I really like this through like a UHC filter. That's great. I still kept the Horsehead up there. Actually, a H-beta filter is really good for the Horsehead. And I know a lot of you are getting some great shots with astrophotography. I'm just getting into astrophotography. I'm a visual guy, so I know my H-beta can give it to me visually, so check that out for sure. If you have good skies, check out C46. I popped on this one with my 16-inch Dob, and I can get it in 6 for sure too. But this is a cool little variable nebula. So it's over there in Monoceros. It's very close to the Cone Nebula, I believe. So the Christmas tree cluster, kind of in that same area. I've kept Thor's helmet. I think Thor's helmet's really fun, especially you throw a UHC filter and it pops out Thor's helmet. So definitely check out Thor's helmet. I gotta throw our friends down in the southern hemisphere an object or two here and there. So we have the Carina Nebula, Eta Carinae. Great job on that photo there, Kevin. Just beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Great shot, man. So NGC 3372 or Caldwell Object 92. It's a beautiful, beautiful emission nebula. If you're in low latitudes, you can get it. I've seen it in Hawaii. So you can get it in lower northern latitudes for sure. So great job there. And then there is the Clown Face Nebula, also sometimes referred to as the Eskimo Nebula. This is one of my favorite planetaries to check out. It's cool. You get the little, you can actually get the white dwarf in there and then the little planetary nebula around it. So check out NGC 2392 up there in Gemini. And then we'll, round out our nebula with the Seagull Nebula. It's a great one. Great images of it, so check that one out right there. And like I said, this is just a sampling of nebulas. I personally like the summer nebulas are my faves. There are some great winter nebulas for sure. Galaxy season is creeping up on us. Some of us really love galaxy season, and we're chomping at the bit to get some good galaxies. So here we go. We've had M31, we've had M33. They're still up there. You can get them. They're getting lower and lower in the sky. They're like some of the very first objects you want to get in the night for your Messier marathon. But we have some other really good galaxies starting to come up. I'm keeping IC 342 or Caldwell object number 5 up there because it's just a really cool galaxy. But I would say some of my favorite pairs are becoming visible, or groups, like the M81 and M82. Just phenomenal pairing of galaxies. And what's also really great about that is there's a couple of fainter NGCs there too. So check that out. And then also kind of in the belly of Leo, you have M95, 96, and 105. I kind of grouped them together because they're right there. You can get wide enough field, you can get all three of those galaxies. There's also some fainter NGCs within that little group too. So again, check that out. I kept the Surfboard Galaxy up there, M108. You also have the Owl Nebula. So check out the Owl Nebula. It is a planetary, and it's NGC 3587, but also Messier number 97. So you have the Owl Nebula, which is actually right up there near M108. So nice little galaxy planetary combo. And then you have NGC 43, nice little spiral galaxy up there. And then C48, NGC 2775 down there in Cancer. So we're moving from some of these wintertime galaxies. I'm going to spend some time next month in April talking about, and May talking about some of the galaxies in Leo, Ursa Major, Virgo, Coma. We're getting those big galaxy clusters. So again, just a sampling of some of these amazing galaxies that are coming up. So there you go. And now, let's round it out with some binaries. I actually found some really cool binaries this time around, and I'm always trying to find new ones. I put Old Reliable up there, Castor. Castor's a great one. But you know what? Check out K Pipus. It's cool. It is a really nice little binary. 2 blue stars, nice little, good separation. It's 4th magnitude. So check that one out. Like I said, Castor, Alpha Geminorum, just really nice blue pair. So check that out. But I actually, these two surprised me. Sigma Orionis. This is a multiple star system. We're talking 5-star system ranging from 4th to 6th magnitude. And it's awesome. Like, I had never looked at this multiple star system before. And I looked down like, whoa. So some are really close, some are separate. Really neat little multiple star system to check out. Also, last right now, 54 Leonis up there in Leo. You have Gamma Leonis over there too. Great binary. But this one was cool. 54 Leonis. Check it out. It is a really nice bluish white pair, a 4th magnitude and a 6th magnitude pair. And it was really cool to check out. All of these are doable in a 6-inch, probably 4-inch. Just check them out. I always like to look at new stuff. There's so much to look at. Just kind of going along the lines with that. So many star clusters, nebulas this time of year, and like I talked about, so many binaries. And I love hearing from y'all some of your favorite objects to look at. There's just so much. And I think that's what's really fun about this hobby, this passion of all of ours, is going out and observing and finding new things or rediscovering things we keep looking at. And I mean, for me, 54 Leonis has always been up there, but it was fun for me to discover it. And I think that's what's fun about looking at new objects is like this idea of self-discovery, right? Like I said, there's so much this month. And, like I said, we got galaxy season coming upon us. We have eclipses this month, Messier marathon. This is a fun month to get out and observe. Now, for some of us, it's cold, so grab that jacket. The weather starts getting a little weird in March for sure. Just get out there and observe. And, NEAF is coming up. Vic told me he's going to be at NEAF. Stellarvue is going to be there. So go say hi to Vic at NEAF. Don't forget about this eyepiece, this great eyepiece. I've really enjoyed this eyepiece, this 30 millimeter, 70 degree eyepiece. Eyeglass wearers, sometimes, we're like this with our glasses when we're viewing. And unfortunately, I have astigmatism, so I have to, unfortunately, I have astigmatism. And I started noticing as I've gotten older, right? But having the glasses, I have to, right? So having the glasses and that nice eye relief is great. So it's great to have that in the line. The Optimus eyepieces have 15 millimeters eye relief, so they work well with eyeglass wearers too, but I like that 20, it's great. So yeah, have a great month. Get out there, observe. Please like and subscribe to the Stellarvue YouTube channel. Lets us know that you guys are enjoying what we're doing and being part of the Stellar crew. Shoot us your emails with your photos. Get on the Stellarvue user forum. We just want to hear your ideas and what you guys are observing and what scopes you're using. So yeah, get out there, have fun, observe, share your hobby with your friends and family, and keep looking up, everybody.